Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Let's get started with hour two of Fusion 2020. We might have a little fun in one of the later days of Fusion. One thing I'm thinking about doing is a Zoom background contest. I just want you to know that you do have your work cut out for you here. Next up, we'll hear from our Excellence Award winners. I'll introduce our first presenter in just a minute. We have 5 20-minute presentations from our 2020 award winners. At 3:25, we'll begin our first Hero Hangout, where we have some musical talent to share with you and a couple of highly competitive trivia contests. And then at 4 o'clock Eastern, we have a session from one of our partners. That would be Bongo. Speaking of sponsors, our platinum sponsor again this year is AWS, that's Amazon Web Services. We'd like to thank them for helping make this conference a reality. It's with their help that we are able to keep this free. You may want to visit their booth in the exhibit hall to learn more. There's lots of sharing going on Twitter right now. I might mention that there isn't a chat function today just because of the production of this particular set of presentations. Many days we'll have chat enabled, but right now the back channel basically is Twitter using the hashtag. So that's the best place to share your thoughts and be seen as well. So we started a poll during the last hour about whether you have attended Fusion before. We're getting some results. The poll is still open, so if you missed it, you can still submit your vote there, pollev.com/D2L448, or you can do it on your phone by text message or however else you want to do. I will tell you that having 50% first timers is not unusual for Fusion, and I think that might actually grow larger with as many people as we have who probably have never had the opportunity to visit us at Fusion before. So with that, we are ready to begin our breakout sessions. First up is James Medway from the Six Nations Polytechnic STEAM Academy. That's in Brantford, Ontario. He is a consultant and a teacher. So if you are ready to go, James, you can start to rock and roll.
Fusion 2020, everyone. Woohoo! Barry, thank you so much for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. As Barry mentioned, my name is James Medway, and today it is my pleasure to showcase to you how Six Nations Polytechnic STEAM Academy, in our opinion, is using D2L to redesign education. Before we get to the content, I want to take a really quick moment and send out a few sincere thank yous to a bunch of important folks. So first and foremost, I want to start with our amazing staff at SMP STEAM Academy, who are hopefully also tuning in today. Shout out to you all for all your amazing hard work that you put into your classrooms using D2L on a daily basis. Secondly, special thank you to D2L for recognizing us for this prestigious award. It is an honor to be able to deliver this presentation on this platform and simply to be in the same category as all the other award winners today. Lastly, thanks in advance to today's audience. I really appreciate all of you guys giving your time up today to be part of this presentation. I really hope you take something valuable out of today's presentation and potentially even implement some of our ideas into your own organizations. All right, now that the thank yous are out of the way, let me take another quick moment to formally introduce myself. So as already mentioned, my name is James Medway. I'll start first with my work experience. I come from a teaching background. I first started teaching at Weston, Saskatchewan as a teacher and an acting principal at the Northwest School Division. As Barry mentioned, I do currently work at SNP as a learning management system consultant and also a teacher. But before that, I did have the rare opportunity to also work at D2L as a former training specialist. You've got some of my work experience. Next up, I'll share with you a bit about my education. So I did the concurrent education program at Brock University. There I did my Bachelor of Arts, my Bachelor of Education, and also my Master's of Education. I also went on to do my Doctorate of Education at Western University, which I plan to graduate in October. And I share that with you because I've spent the last 3 years carefully researching how to effectively implement and increase LMS adoption across organizations. You've gotten to know me. Next up, I'd love to share with you a bit more about my current organization. So if you haven't heard of us, what is SMP STEAM Academy? SMP STEAM Academy is a ministry-inspected Indigenous school, as Barry mentioned, in Brantford, Ontario, Canada, the home of Gretzky. Our first year of operation with students was in September 2017, and our student population is made up from students from the local Indigenous community, but also the local Brantford community as well. We really do strive to use technology to pay tribute to the past. So as a ministry-inspected school, we do have to meet the Ontario curriculum expectations, but how we meet those expectations is what we would argue is what sets us apart. We strive to do this by indigenizing the curriculum where possible and also integrating innovative technologies, such as, for instance, D2L. What's also really unique about our school is we offer a dual credit program. So students at our school are able to earn their OSSD, or their Ontario Secondary School Diploma, and also a Software Engineering Technician Diploma, which is made possible through our partnership with Mohawk College. The other important detail which I should mention related to this is all of our students are able to attend 100% tuition free. The final bullet point that I'm just going to share with you with our organization is that all of our courses since the very inception of the school are blended courses in D2L, which has really worked out to our benefit, especially amidst this recent pandemic when everyone's been making this rapid change to online learning. We had to make a much shorter jump, which was just blended learning to fully online learning. You've gotten to know me, you've gotten to know the organization. Next up, I'd love to share with you a few details about why we chose D2L. So as a ministry inspected school, one of the first reasons was to better satisfy our ministry inspection requirements. So as a ministry inspected school, we are expected to collect evidence of student learning. We're also expected to import in curriculum expectations and then showcase how those expectations align to our resources and also all of our lesson plans. Furthermore, we also have to collect a variety of forms of assessment. So in Ontario, it is really important that we collect evidence of assessment as, for, and of learning. D2L's tools make all of those features very easy to check off. For instance, the first example I gave you was collecting evidence of student learning. We regularly use D2L's portfolio tool. Using this tool, we can capture pictures or also videos of our students working along in their classrooms. In addition to that, we also highly leverage the content tool. D2L's content tool allows us to import in directly into our content tool in our courses the curriculum expectations of that course, and then we can then align those expectations to specific resources or also our lesson plans. In addition to that, D2L offers us also a variety of instructional tools. So leveraging the discussions tool, the quizzes tool, the assignments tool. All of these instructional tools allow us to provide evidence of as, for, and of learning to our ministry inspector. And that's the final detail I'm going to add for this bullet point. In addition to capturing all of those digital components which I just mentioned, D2L also allows us to create unique roles. So we've actually gone ahead and created a view-only role, which we've then provided to our ministry inspector, which allows that person to log in virtually wherever they may be and audit our courses for full transparency, and so they can see a full perspective of all the great things we're trying to do in our courses. So aside from better satisfying our ministry inspection requirements, we also leverage D2L to take advantage of all of the associated benefits connected with online learning. So there's an expansive amount of research out there that showcases the many merits of online learning. For us, we love leveraging D2L's tools so that we can make sure that our learning is more engaging. D2L's tools offer a variety of multimedia features, which we're able to integrate into our own lessons. In addition to that, we also just love being able to make, I would say, content readily available for students, depending on wherever they are. We're also really impressed with the variety of ways of differentiation that are possible to make available to our students as well. In terms of why D2L, probably the most important reason is the bullet point that you'll see at the bottom of my slide there, and that is to increase Indigenous student success. At the moment, unfortunately, Indigenous students in Ontario, and especially throughout Canada, are underperforming. A recent statistic that really stays with me is a little while ago, I was in a meeting with the director of Six Nation Schools, and she shared with us that approximately 55% of students who come from Six Nation elementary schools, who then go to secondary schools in the public school system in the community, 55% of them are at risk of not graduating, which is a pretty sobering statistic. We chose D2L and also established our school to make sure that we serve those students better. Okay, you've gotten to know me, you've gotten to know the organization. Let's get into some content. So if you haven't already gotten this impression yet, today's session is going to be fairly fast-paced. I'm looking at my time and I only see that I have about 15 minutes left. I'm sorry, there's just too many cool things to talk to you about in the short amount of time that I have. So this session is going to be very much like trying to drink water from a fire hydrant. I'm going to hit you with as much cool information as I possibly can. And it's my hope that at the end of this session, I leave you drenched with as much information as possible. So again, you can hopefully find some of the things useful and consider incorporating them into your organizations yourself. So into the content. Distilling down a lot of the cool things that we're using D2L's platform for, I've decided to come up with 3 objectives for today's presentation. First and foremost, I want to talk to you about how we're using data to identify students at risk. After that, I want to talk to you about how we're able to indigenize the online learning experiences of our students. And then finally, I'm going to be wrapping up today's presentation with how we're using the platform to also improve communication and staff collaboration. Let's start with the first one, using data to identify students at risk. Like our organization, your organization is very likely also adamant on making sure that students never fall through the cracks. Unfortunately, in secondary schools, what often happens is students begin a high school course, some time goes by, next thing you know, it's midterms. That's when they might find out that they're maybe slipping or getting off the path. Then some more time usually goes by again. And the next thing you know, it's the end of the course. Unfortunately, because that student wasn't flagged, that student may have not earned that credit. D2L's platform, more specifically their data sets, allows us to proactively change that situation by identifying students at risk. So using, in particular, the final grades data set, we are able to proactively flag students at risk throughout checkpoints in the year. And what I do on my end is I create a bi-weekly reminder in our staff calendar, which lets staff know that on Monday morning, we are going to be running another report. Now, since all of our courses are blended courses in D2L's platform, and also all of our teachers are using the grades tool, we can create a school-wide report which flags all the students that are potentially at risk, which might be based upon whatever threshold we set. So the example I gave to you before was, show me every single student that currently has less than 50% in a course. But over time, as we continue to work with those students, we then set the threshold higher. So it becomes now show me all the students that are less than 60, and so on. The really amazing thing about D2L is not necessarily just the data that we have access to, but then what we do with that data once we get it. And this is the last bullet point that you'll see on my slide here. That is mobilizing our student success team with the auditor widget. So at our school, we're really fortunate to have an awesome student success team. Our student success team is made up of a variety of educational assistants and other support workers such as counselors, mental health workers, child and youth workers, and so on. Based upon the data that we then pull out of the platform to identify students at risk, we connect those students with members of the student success team. And I'm able to digitally tether those students using the auditor widget. So I can say, this person from the student success team, you are auditing this student who we flagged. And virtually, without having to knock on that teacher's door and try to dig into what's going on with that student's particular situation, that person who's part of the student success team, who's been tied to that student, can very easily go into their computer and see all these progress indicators, which tell a larger story about what's going on with that student. So maybe they haven't submitted an assignment. Maybe they performed poorly on this particular grade. Maybe they have not done these recent discussions. Looking into that information provides us with the gaps we're looking for, so we can then fill those gaps and make sure we set our students back for success. Okay, aside from using data to identify students at risk, I'm going to keep moving right along, and I'm going to talk to you next about how we are uniquely at our school indigenizing our online learning experience for our students. To most effectively talk about this bullet point, I want to direct your attention to the image that you'll see on the right-hand side of my slide. This is a wampum belt. If you've never seen a wampum belt before, they were commonly used to capture historical treaties at the time, and today have many important historical significances. This particular wampum belt is known as the two-row wampum. One row, which is the purple line that you'll see there, symbolizes a Dutch canoe traveling down the river, filled with the many customs and knowledges of that specific group. The other row represents a Haudenosaunee canoe, or an indigenous canoe, also traveling down the river, but filled with their own unique customs, knowledges, traditions. The significance of this wampum is to make sure that as an organization, we are learning to value both ways of knowing, and that is both Western and indigenous ways of knowing. And if our students are ever going to be successful, it is paramount that their culture and their identity be reflected across their online learning experiences. Luckily for us at SMP STEAM Academy, we have access to some world-renowned knowledge experts in this field. That being said, we often hire a lot of new teachers on a regular basis because we're always expanding, and some of these teachers may not have ever heard of Indigenous content. It becomes paramount for us to connect these folks with our students. So to achieve this, we first take advantage of the tool that you'll see up top there, listed as the LOR. If you haven't heard of the LOR before, it stands for the Learning Object Repository. The Learning Object Repository, in my opinion, is a oldie, but still a goodie. it's a handy way for us to create repositories where we can store resources and make them available to staff members within our school. And we utilize the LOR like this. Our staff are first encouraged to publish Indigenous resources to this repository that they may currently have access to. To make sure that these resources are incredibly valuable, we then make sure that as soon as that resource is published from a staff member in the school, a notification is automatically sent out to our school cultural coordinator, who's able to review that resource. By default, newly published resources become set as a in draft status. After that member of our school reviews the resource, maybe make some edits, make some suggestions on how that resource should be properly used, she changes that status from draft to then approved. And what that means for us is that our teachers, directly from inside the content tool of their courses, can easily search for those resources and retrieve them down to their courses to make sure that they're indigenizing the curriculum. But that's just one way. Aside from the LOR, we also leverage the awards tool. If you're not familiar with the awards tool has a lot of great features. Typically, instructors are able to create badges and also certificates, which they can issue to our learners. Probably the biggest way we're using the awards tool is to recognize our students who demonstrate the Haudenosaunee values or the traditional values. So as a school, we really try to encourage our students to live by the Haudenosaunee values. You'll see these posted all throughout the school. And to celebrate them, in the past, what we would do is during a monthly assembly, we would call up students who staff nominated as best demonstrating those values. To make this digital, we took it a step further, and this is where the awards tool comes in. We've created digital certificates based upon those values. So in addition to being recognized in a public forum like a staff or school-wide assembly, we also issue these certificates digitally to students. And the benefit of this is they always have that digital certificate with them. So as a lot of our students start to apply for some of their first jobs, especially jobs in the local community, they can include these certificates as resources to accompany their resume or their cover letter. Aside from the awards tool, the final bullet point I'm going to talk to you about in regards to indigenizing online experiences is the variety of widgets that we're including within our platform. It's really important for us as a school to properly say the Thanksgiving address at the beginning of every single school day. For us, this is performed commonly in Cayuga and also in the Mohawk languages. We've gone ahead and created a custom widget which allows that Thanksgiving address to be recorded in both Mohawk and Cayuga, including both translations. This is incredibly powerful for us because it allows us to say that Thanksgiving address every single morning effectively, and it also allows students to continue to get familiar with saying that Thanksgiving address themselves, and more so, continuing to develop an appreciation of the languages, which is paramount for the school. Aside from that Thanksgiving address widget, I'll also talk about the monthly values widget briefly. The monthly values widget is similar to the value certificates I mentioned beforehand. We often have the Cayuga speaker at our school include a very quick video post where she describes what that monthly value is. We'll say it in the language, and then we'll also talk about the significance. The final widget that I'm just going to highlight is on our main organization level. We've also included a CBC Our Original widget. This is really important for our students because it provides them with contemporary Indigenous issues that are happening throughout the world and might relate to their own perspectives. Okay, so aside from indigenizing the online learning experiences, I'm going to talk to you about one last point today. We've also been able to use D2L's platform to dramatically improve our current communication and staff collaboration. I'm going to talk to you first about communication. We use a very simple but powerful tool on our main landing page called Global Announcements. Global Announcements is a handy way for us to post what's happening or what's going on within the school. Commonly within organizations, you might see one particular role in the school be delegated as responsibility, maybe somebody like a secretary. What we've done is we've really opened this up to a variety of roles within our school. So our staff members, whether you're an EA, a teacher, an administrator, all have the ability to post important things that they'd like to share with the rest of the school community. And it's really changed how our students collect information and communicate with our students. Some examples of global announcements might include things like showcasing student work. So if we have a student that's created a beautiful piece of art in our class, we want to showcase that. So that allows us to post on the main page, which is visible to the whole rest of the school to celebrate that student. It might also be simple as examples of there's an upcoming contest. So we want them to register by clicking this link here. For myself, I love athletics. In the past, I used to post a piece of paper on the back of my classroom door, And I would say, if you want to sign up for, say, lacrosse, come on by and write your name on that piece of paper. Instead of doing that old school method, and maybe somebody misses out on the opportunity to sign up, we can just as easily create a global announcement, which is digital, using something like a Google form. Those students can then register, even if they're not there for those days at school. They don't miss out on that opportunity. Communication has been improved dramatically, not just for our staff and students, but also our parents. So I want to take a really quick moment and brag for a second here. Six Nations Polytechnic STEAM Academy was the first school in Canada to leverage Brightspace for Parents. And it's had an immense impact on parent engagement. What's really powerful about it is it changes the dynamics at home. So before Brightspace for Parents, what often happens within a home environment is students go home and then parents might talk to them. And they might say something like, hey, how was your day today? What did you do? And if you have kids yourself, you might be used to the response that students say, which is something usually along the lines of, I didn't really do anything, nothing new. Brightspace for Parents changes that dynamic for us. So instead of that parent being, hey, what'd you do today? What are you up to? That sort of thing. And then getting that common response, parents being access to all of the digital information that they get inside this product are able to then change that narrative. So parents can now be like, hey, I saw that you recently got this grade, or I noticed that you didn't do that well on that quiz, or I see that there's this assignment coming up in a few weeks from now. We should start working on that. And obviously, the more parents and guardians are engaged in their son or daughter's experience, the more successful our students are going to be. So any opportunities we can take advantage of to include them in the educational experience, we're going to take advantage of. And this has been a huge way for us to do exactly that. Aside from communication, I'm just going to talk to you next briefly about collaboration. If you're not coming from an administrative perspective inside D2L, I'm going to ask you to bear with me on this one for just a second. What we've done inside the platform is we've created for all of our teachers and EAs a cascading view-only role. That's a fancy way to say our teachers and EAs have full access to every single course that's been offered inside our school previously, and also courses that are currently being offered. This is immensely powerful because teachers have the ability to hop into previous courses, to audit what maybe had been done, but to more importantly, borrow those resources themselves. Otherwise, if a teacher who we hire is about to be an English instructor, commonly what they have to do is, put their hat in their hand and walk up to that staff member who taught English the year before and say, hey, I'm teaching English this semester, you can hook up some resources. That, of course, is still very important to have those conversations. But if we're in this unique situation, which we are now, it also allows people to digitally, without having to bother anyone else, hop into previous courses and borrow their resources by simply importing, exporting, or copying components from previous courses. The final bullet point that I'm going to share with you is how this workflow has also led to providing additional support for our students. And I'd also say our staff. So if we hire new colleagues who might not have that much experience with online learning, they can also audit previous courses or current courses that are happening. Why this becomes really powerful is if they're not sure how to create an announcement or they're not sure how to set up their content, they can be connected with another mentor teacher and then hop into their courses digitally to view what they've done in their past, to get ideas to use in their own classrooms. A big benefit of this collaboration component is over time, as we offer these same courses again and again, our courses continue to become refined. We keep collecting and building upon these resources to make them better and better for our students. Okay, let's do a quick recap. We're going to check off what my objectives for the session today were. It was my intent to showcase to you how our school is using data to identify students at risk, how we're also able to uniquely indigenize online learning experiences for our students, and finally, how we've been able to leverage the platform to improve communication and staff collaboration. The results really do speak for themselves. One result that we've focused in on as a school is credit accumulation. And collectively, over the last 3 years as an organization, we've been able to hover around that 90% credits earned from students, which has been huge for us. Looking at the time, I want to make sure I'm being mindful to my other fellow Excellence Award winners. So I'm going to wrap up here by saying a really quick thank you. On behalf of SNP STEAM Academy, I want to say thank you again to D2L for this prestigious award, and also give you everybody who's else out there who's been able to join us today a sincere thank you for hopping in and attending the session. It really means a lot. If you have any questions or you'd like to talk about implementation or adoption strategies, Again, my name is James Medway. My email is james.medway@snpolytechnic.com. Please don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to connect with you. Back to you, Barry. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much, James. And we are going to hop right into our second presentation for this time slot. And I'd like to introduce to you Stacy Manzares, a manager of professional development, and Jamie Burks, a production manager. They both come from ISC Squared. And Stacy and James, we are ready for you.
Great. Thank you, Barry. First, on behalf of the ISC Squared education team, I'd like to express our sincerest appreciation for this recognition. We are very proud of our work and appreciate the recognition from D2L and our peers that understand the power of learning. As Barry mentioned, I am Stacy Manzares, Manager of Professional Development, and I am with my colleague, Jamie Burks, who is the Production Manager. Jamie, do you want to say hi?
Helps if I unmute.
There you go.
It's a pleasure to be here today and talk about how we leverage D2L to advance our important initiative.
Great, Jamie, thank you. In this presentation, we want to share our journey on how we leveraged D2L to launch a very successful and important initiative at ISC Squared, the Professional Development Institute. This was a board-mandated initiative with rigid success metrics, an aggressive development plan, and of course, high visibility. But before we start, I must mention that this journey took a lot of hard work and effort from many talented team members who were also excited to be recognized for our efforts, and I know who are actually participating in Fusion this week. So a shout out to them, and also a shout out to our fearless leader, Myrta Collin, who really helped guide us through this initiative. A little background information. ISC Squared is an international nonprofit membership organization committed to inspiring a safe and secure cyber world. We have over 150,000 members that work in cybersecurity and hold at least one of our 9 certifications, with the CISSP being one of the most well-known credentials in the industry. All members are required to earn continuing professional education credits to maintain their credentials. We have been around for 30 plus years, and until recently, our focus had been on enhancing our certification programs and the educational offerings directly related to those certifications. In 2018, our board mandated an initiative to build a program that provided increased rigor around professional development opportunities available to our members. Prior to this mandate, ISC Squared members could earn their required CPEs by participating in events and other programs offered by ISC Squared and or other organizations. Our board, through this mandate, recognized the need for members and non-member cybersecurity professionals to have access to rich CPE opportunities. That helped them remain relevant in a profession that is constantly evolving. In February 2019, we officially launched the Professional Development Institute, or PDI. So what is PDI? PDI is a catalog of self-paced training opportunities available to cybersecurity professionals to help them remain up to speed on the latest emerging trends in cybersecurity. Today, we offer 35, actually now 36, self-paced courses through the D2L platform, providing over 100 CPE hours to credential holders and at a retail value of greater than $10,000. Courses are free to members and available for purchase for non-ISC Squared members. I might add that in light of COVID, we were able to quickly put together some nice bundles for non-ISC Squared members to take advantage of this opportunity. Those bundles are actually still available, which has been a great success for us. Through PDI, we offer 3 types of courses with varying levels of engagement and time commitment: immersive, express learning, and hands-on labs. To successfully complete a course and earn continuing education credits, learners must complete all learning activities, score 70% or higher on a final assessment, and submit a course evaluation. So how does PDI work? All courses are developed by the education team. Subject matter experts guide the development of the course material and are supported by a team of highly qualified adult education experts and creative professionals. Once a course is developed, it is turned over to the production team, Jamie and staff, to build the course in D2L. When a course is ready, it is launched to our membership and the public. All members are provided access to a course after the completion of a thorough quality assurance process. To enroll in a course, members simply need to log into D2L with their credentials, select the course from the course selector icon, and start the course. Non-members can purchase access and enroll. So I'm happy to say that PDI has been a great success, and we have exceeded our targets promised to the board. We track our success and report quarterly to the board on enrollments, completions, and overall satisfaction. Take a look at these numbers. Just in enrollments, when we submitted for this award back in December, our reported enrollments were just under 30,000, which, Jamie, I know you would agree, we were quite happy about. But as of June of this year, enrollments jumped to just under 100,000. In addition, unique member engagement increased from 13% of our total membership to 27% of our total membership. I think pretty impressive. Other positive outcomes were increased user adoption of the D2L platform and engaging learners in over 140 different countries. As you can imagine, we are quite happy with our accomplishments to date, but I will tell you, it wasn't easy. So, we get that for this audience, this doesn't seem that impressive. But before I ask Jamie to continue with our story, I want to put things in perspective for you to better understand the magnitude and scope of this initiative and why we believe this is an impressive accomplishment and are so thankful for the recognition. First, just the high visibility of this initiative alone created complexity, a board mandate, and commitment to our members. I got to tell you, we were not going to fail on this one. We had 1 year to develop 30 new courses that offered 100 plus CPE hours and a variety of content and learning activities to meet the diverse needs of our global membership. And what about member acceptance? This was not our core business, and our members and the industry did not turn to ISC Squared for this type of professional development offering. We had to do this right from the beginning, as we had a lot to prove. We provide access to 150,000 members with 35 courses that equated to over 5 million instances. A lot of work. And while we were going through this, we had a brand new team. So we had to recruit, hire, and onboard a new team. Finally, it didn't stop at the end of year one. We are developing new courses and refreshing existing courses. By the end of this year, we will offer 40 courses and have refreshed at least 4 of them. This was a lot to accomplish in year one, and we are not done yet. So what seems pretty basic for those of us in education really wasn't. I have to applaud the collaboration between our partners at D2L and our LMS team under the direction of Jamie. Together, they simply made magic. So I'm going to turn the presentation over to Jamie to let him tell the rest of the story. Jamie? I think you're on mute, Jamie.
Again, thank you, Stacy. As you said, this was a successful journey, but it wasn't easy. Let's take a look at a few of the challenges that we faced. Some of these challenges we've all experienced and are not new to course development. But what created interesting challenges for us was the scope, scale, and high visibility of this initiative. Our toughest challenge was actually providing access to each course for the 150,000 members. Initially, we did this using bulk enrollments, which required a lot of Friday evenings watching the computer and hitting the refresh button on my part. The odd apostrophe or illegal character here or there in the CSV file was quite a challenge and would actually often mean relaunching the cycle. Through the collaboration with the D2L team, we were able to do some performance analysis on the bulk enrollment versus learning groups. And we were able to streamline not only our launch times, but also our ability to actually more rapidly provision access to these materials to our membership. As of our last course launch, we've actually reduced this enrollment time down from 4 hours to just about an hour now. So a dramatic increase. Another challenge that we faced was actually encouraging member course completions. It was very important for us to be able to show that engagement in courses was not just fleeting. We wanted to capture the learner's attention and ensure that they saw the value of the content and proceed through the course in its entirety. Using the tools available to us in the courses, we were able to track user engagement throughout the course. Using the insights that we gained from this information, we've adapted some of our intelligent agents and added additional prompts to the learner, directing them back to some of the key events in the content as we track their journey through the course. The result of these adjustments have been a more standardized set of intelligent agents that are deployed with all of our courses, resulting in an increase in overall completions. A third big challenge was ensuring an engaging learning experience. Our core demographic is very used to in-person training with practical application of skills. So we knew we had to make our courses interactive whilst still being entirely self-paced. At the onset of developing the PDI initiative, we knew we wanted to focus on three key course styles: immersives, hands-on labs, and express courses. In each of these course styles, we added interactive components to create increased engagement and incorporated inline quizzing activities to reaffirm the learning, tying back to the course learning objectives. Today, our immersive courses are tailored to give the learner a real-world experience of some of the situations they might encounter, while our lab offerings encapsulate actual tasks performed by security practitioners, and our express courses provide instructional walkthroughs with an additional multimedia component, allowing us to stay agile. The result of these additional interactions is reflected in the high satisfaction scores highlighted by Stacey at the start of this presentation. We've also been able to leverage D2L in other ways to improve our efficiencies and enhance the overall learning experience. We've streamlined our workflow, leveraging a standardized set of templates to create a consistent look and feel across the three course types. Our incredibly talented multimedia developers frequently developing, tweaking, adapting, and adding to our library of master templates, allowing us to deliver increasingly complex multi-tier interactions. We're always aware of the global nature of our audience and to ensure that we keep in mind when developing our templates that we need to be responsive in nature, and our videos need to be transcoded for efficient playback on multiple devices and multiple bandwidths across various countries. Using our built-in badging and certificates also allow us better visibility into the overall participation and completion rates. In addition, we use the completion tracking feature for a high level impression of completions and certificate data to generate custom reports that we're then able to integrate into other data systems. The daily support we receive from the D2L help desk has been invaluable. It helps us triage and resolve a great deal of our support cases that we see, and if anything does need escalating, they're able to quickly and efficiently direct the learner to the appropriate channel, making our lives significantly easier. Back to you, Stacey, and you're muted now.
Oh. There you go. Clearly, we're on the same team. Thank you, Jamie. It has certainly been a fun ride. Before we close and turn it back over to Barry, we have a few words of advice for those wanting to implement a similar initiative. First, You got to create and gain support for a vision. Give your learners what they want. Create a solid strategy and an implementation plan with key performance indicators that can track your success. Second, make sure you have the right platform. D2L really worked for us. Also, build that cross-functional team of experts and divide and conquer. Don't hesitate. I think this is key. Don't hesitate to leverage D2L's technical resources. This was very critical to our success. Make sure you allow for a system of continuous improvement. And finally, a rule that Jamie declared after spending many Fridays on sort of putting out a little fires: no launch Fridays. If something goes wrong, that is a great way to ruin your weekend, right, Jamie? So we want to thank you for the recognition and for listening to our story. Jamie, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I'd just like to say a big thank you to Thomas, Chris, Alex, and Sumi from D2L and the team for their continued support and of course everyone on the ISC2 team for all the work and extra hours that they've put in to make this such a tremendous success.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. And Barry, I'm sending it back to you.
All right. Well, thank you, Stacy and Jamie. So that brings us to our next break. We basically are trying to take a little break at the end of each hourly time slot. So approximately 45 minutes of Fusion and about a 15-minute break. So we're right on time. And that means that we will be back at the top of the hour. That would be, 1 o'clock my time would be 2 o'clock Eastern time. And wherever you are, you do the math. And so we will be in the same room. You can just stay right here, or you can exit and go check out the exhibit hall or other things. And we'll be back here at the top of the hour. Thanks, everybody.
I'm done hating myself for feeling. I'm done crying myself away. I gotta leave and start the healing. But when you move like that, I just wanna stay. What have I become? I'm looking through your phone now, oh now. Love to you is just a game. Look what I have done. I'm dialing up the numbers, oh yeah. I don't want my heart to break, baby. How do you sleep when you lie to me? All that shame and all that danger. I'm hoping that my love will keep you up tonight, baby. How do you sleep when you lie to me? All that fear and all that pressure. I'm hoping that my love will keep you up tonight. Tell me, how do you? Love will keep you up tonight. Tell me, how do you? Oh no, how did I manage to lose me? I am not this desperate, not this crazy. There's no way I'm sticking around to find out. I won't lose like that, I won't lose myself. Look what I have done, dialing up the numbers, oh yeah. I don't want my heart to break, baby. How do you sleep when you lie to me? All that I don't care if you're here or if you're not alone. I don't care, it's been too long. It's kinda like it didn't happen. The way that your lips move, the way you whisper slow. I don't care, it's good as gone. I said I won't lose control, I don't want it. I said I won't get too close, but I can't stop it. Oh no, there you go, making me a liar. Got me begging you for more. Oh no, there I go, starting up a fire. Oh no, no, oh no, there you go, making me a liar. But I kinda like it though. Oh no, there I go, starting up a fire. Oh no, no. You're watching, I feel it. I know I shouldn't stay. I picture your hands on me. I don't wanna let it happen. But what if you kiss me? And what if I like it? And no one sees it. I said I won't lose control, I don't want it. I said I won't get too close, but I can't stop it. Oh no, there you go, making me a liar. Got me begging you for more. Oh no, there I go, starting up a fire. Oh no, no, oh no, there you go, making me a liar. But I kinda like it though. Oh no, there I go, starting up a fire. Oh no, no. Oh no, no, no. Gonna drop, oh no, no. Starting up a fire. I don't believe myself when I say that I don't need you. I don't believe myself when I say it, so don't believe me. Oh no, there you go, making me a liar. Got me begging you for more. Oh no, there I go, starting up a fire. Oh no, no, oh no, there you go, making me a liar. But I kinda like it though. Oh no, there I go, starting up a fire. Oh no, no. Baby, you've been so distant from me lately. And lately, don't even wanna call you baby. So I was getting older, burning toast on the toaster. My ambitions were too high. Waiting up for you upstairs. Why you act like I'm not there? Baby, right now it feels like you don't care. Why don't you recognize I'm so rare? Always there. You don't do the same for me, that's not fair. I don't have it all, I'm not claiming to, but I know that I'm special. Yeah, and I'll bet there's somebody else out there. Burning toast on the toaster. My ambitions were too high. Waiting up for you upstairs. Why you act like I'm not there? Baby, right now it feels like you don't care. You don't care. Why don't you recognize I'm so rare? So I'm always there. You don't do the same for me. That's not fair. I don't have it all. I'm not claiming you. You're so special. Yeah. And I'll bet there's somebody else out there to tell me I'm rare, to make me feel rare. Oh yeah, so if you don't wanna see me, did a full 180, crazy, thinking about the way I was. Did the heartbreak change me? Maybe, but look at where I ended up. I'm all good already, so moved on, it's scary. I'm not where you left me at all. So, if you don't wanna see me dancing with somebody, if you wanna believe that anything could stop me, don't show up, don't come out, don't start caring about me now. Walk away, you know how. Don't start caring about me now. Aren't you the guy who tried to hurt me with the word goodbye? Though it took some time to survive you, I'm better on the other side. I'm all good already, so moved on, it's scary. I'm not where you left me at all. So, if you don't wanna see me dancing with somebody, if you wanna believe that anything could stop me, don't show up, don't come out, don't start caring about me now. Walk away, you know how. Don't start caring about me now. Don't stop now. I'm not where you left me at all. So, if you don't wanna see me dancing with somebody, if you wanna believe that anything could stop me, don't show up, don't come out, don't stop caring about me now, walk away, you know how, don't stop caring about me now. Walk away. Would you love me less if you know the places that I've been? If you know the damage that I did? Would you love me less? No, 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 no. I got too much dirt to come clean. Closets full of skeletons that you don't wanna see. We judge me, I'm ugly. I won't blame you if you do. No lies, don't wanna keep no secrets. Even if what I'ma say will leave you speechless. No secrets. If I introduce you to my demons, tell me, baby, would you love me less? If you know the places that I've been, if you know the damage that I did, would you love me less? No, Like my list of exes, I've had it home. She's bugging, sounding childish like a xylophone. Knees buckling, hearing that falsetto, that's in a tone. If I introduce you to my demons, tell me, baby, would you love me less? If you know the places that I've been, if you know the damage that I did, would you love me less? No, now would you love me? Now would you love me? Would you love me less? Would you love me less? If I had $1 for my sins, if you know the things that I've been in, would you love me less? No, now you love me. Now would you love me? Or would you love me more? If you knew the person that I was, yeah. If you knew the power of your love to change me. And if I introduce you to my demons, tell me, baby, you won't love me less. If you know the places that I've been, if you know the damage that I'm in, would you love me less? No, would you love me? No, would you love me less? Would you love me less? If I had $1 for my sins, if you know the things that I've been in, would you love me less? No.
If you're just now joining us, welcome to Fusion 2020. For the rest of you, welcome back to hour 3 of our first ever virtual Fusion conference. During the next 45 minutes, we'll hear from 2 more of our Excellence Award winners for 2020. I'll introduce our next presenter in just a moment. We have one more 20-minute presentation at 3 o'clock Eastern, and then at 3:25, we will begin our first Hero Hangout, where we have some musical talent to share with you and a couple of very fun and competitive trivia contests. The first trivia category will be music, so you might want to start studying up for that, just all the music in the world over the last hundreds of years. At 4 o'clock Eastern, we also have a session from one of our partners, and that would be Bongo. Our plan for Fusion 2020 in Anaheim was to launch 10 new affinity networks. We're still doing it, but virtually instead. By joining one of the topical networks, you'll be able to meet others in the D2L community that have similar interests. Each of those networks will include a meet and greet and then some breakout sessions on the topic. And then we're going to follow up with future gatherings about every 2 or 3 months for each network. And all of this leading to a face-to-face gathering at Fusion 2021 in Toronto, knock on wood if such things are a thing in 2021. Tomorrow will be our virtual edition of the D2L Accessibility Lab, which is offered each year at Fusion. You can meet the D2L Accessibility team, and there are a series of accessibility-focused breakout sessions throughout the afternoon. We have 10 premium sponsors for Fusion 2020. You'll have the opportunity to hear from these D2L partners and learn more about their solutions that integrate in Brightspace. Many of them are doing breakout sessions, so thanks to all of our premium sponsors. And now it's time to get back to our breakout sessions by the Excellence Award winners. Next up is Tina Parskull from the Colorado Community College System and CCC Online. Tina was a host for one of the D2L Connections we held back in February in Colorado at Red Rocks Community College. We had a great day there. I don't recall anyone talking about the coronavirus at that time in the middle of February. Things changed really quickly after that, and pretty sure that was the last trip I took. So it's been a pleasure getting to know Tina better. And if you're ready to go, Tina, you can start your presentation now.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. So thank you, D2L, for this recognition and for the opportunity to share our story about how the Colorado Community College System and CCC Online leverages D2L Brightspace to offer accessible and affordable learning throughout Colorado and beyond. I'm Tina Parskull. I'm with the Colorado Community College System, and I have the honor of working with all of the colleges in the system, as well as leading the amazing team at the Colorado Community Colleges Online. CCC Online is the online consortium serving the 13 colleges at CCCS, as well as Dawson Community College in Glendive, Montana. The Colorado Community College System is the largest higher education system in the state of Colorado. We are comprised of 13 colleges across 40 locations. We serve over 121,000 undergraduate students and award of approximately 22,000 credentials each year. Now I'd like to share a short video that highlights how the Colorado Community College system is changing the way Colorado goes to college through open educational resources and zero textbook cost materials.
We're changing the way Colorado goes to college. We've made a commitment to Colorado that every student should have access to an affordable education without the need to take on crushing debt loads. Nationally, the cost of textbooks has risen at 4 times the rate of inflation since 1980. The result has been that about 65% of students skip buying a needed textbook at some point during their college career. We're committed to tackling that problem head on by making more open educational resource courses available and more zero textbook degrees available so that students don't have that cost.
We were the first in the state to offer a zero textbook cost degree pathway for students. Zero textbook cost courses and OER courses are created using open textbooks and library resources like streaming videos, journal articles, learning objects, assessments, and discussion items, just like our regular courses are created with. We're also creating full Z degree pathways so students can take a complete degree without having to buy a textbook for any of their courses.
We used to be really stuck with a single textbook and a faculty member had to make that work. The OER textbooks really allow faculty to adapt to what's happening right now in current events, as well as to bring in their specialties into a course. And so it's exciting to students and engaging to students when they're able to see that the real world activities, what's happening right now, really reflected in their faculty's curriculum.
As a busy mom of 3, I'm always moving from place to place. So being able to have things like my phone and being able to study in my breaks or waiting in the car for my kids, it's just super convenient to have an OER related course. As the OER representative, I've had a lot of students from university and community college come to me and let me know that they can't afford to pay for their textbooks or for their lab kits or any of the supplies that they need for class because of other circumstances that are happening. Programs like OER provide for them, and being able to have that one cost not be a barrier for them makes it head over heels easier for them to get to that end goal, which is graduation.
I see the cost benefits of this program really centered around the fact that we can improve access to higher education for our students through free publicly available course materials. The cost benefits of this program, when we look at it over a course of study for a student on their way to a degree, a student will typically take about 20 courses. We think we can save students at least $100 a course. That's $2,000 over a program. We think the savings for students across the course of this program will be about $4 million this year.
We've been recognized for our excellence in open educational resources, and we've received over $595,000 in grant money from the Colorado Department of Higher Education, and that's helping us to make college more affordable for our students. CCCS is really proud of the OER projects that we have been implementing. To know that we're lowering the cost for students and helping to ease the student loan debt, as well as the food insecurity and the homelessness that many of our students are facing, is really important to a lot of us, and we really appreciate the support.
I'm really proud of the fact that community college system faculty across our system have really taken the initiative to develop open educational resource materials, first of all for their own classrooms and to help their students, but then providing those to faculty across Colorado and across the nation.
It does lots for people like me and students all across the board.
Students who'd like to learn more about zero textbook cost and open educational resources can visit cccs.edu.
So how did we get here? The Colorado Community College System and CCC Online's open educational resources and zero textbook cost journey began in 2011. That year, CCC Online developed its first 2 OER courses, and similar efforts were being started at other CCCS colleges. Over the years, we steadily increased the number of OER and zero textbook cost courses. We currently have 84 courses that utilize OER or zero textbook materials. As our OER course development processes have matured, our need for standards and protocols became apparent. In 2017, CCC Online established a multidisciplinary OER task force to coordinate our efforts. At the same time, the state of Colorado started to recognize the potential for OER. So in 2017, the Colorado legislature created the OER Council through the Colorado Department of Higher Education. This statewide body is charged with facilitating the creation of resources to benefit college and K-12 students throughout the state. I serve on the OER Council, which is chaired by CCC Online's Manager of OER and Library Resources. The OER Council has awarded almost $1.5 million in their first 2 years of grant funding. As mentioned in the video, CCCS institutions received over $595,000 in grant money. These grants are assisting our colleges to grow their own OER initiatives, which makes a huge impact on college affordability and access. To date, CCC Online has also developed 3 Z-degree pathways for students to take through Colorado community colleges. CCC Online is powered by Brightspace and built to scale. All CCCS colleges, as well as CCC Online, use Brightspace by D2L as its learning management system. Last year, CCC Online served over 50,000 enrollments. Our courses are designed by a collaborative team of faculty, subject matter experts, instructional designers, e-learning technologists, and a librarian. They work together to develop a master course template for each course that aligns with Quality Matters standards for course quality. This master course template approach enhances the student experience through ease of navigation and accessibility. It also provides a standardized format across multiple sections of each course. Through single sign-on to D2L Brightspace, students have first-day access to all course materials, digital integrations, library resources, and other learning tools. D2L's LTI capabilities allow CCC Online to add learning tool interoperability links to course materials and digital assets directly inside the D2L course shell. The deep linking of the LTI enables students to navigate to digital content assets without ever leaving the learning environment. This seamless integration breaks down technology barriers and improves the student learning experience. Also, in recent semesters, CCC Online has used Brightspace application program interfaces, otherwise known as APIs, to identify links that need to be updated across hundreds of courses. And finally, Brightspace's responsive design supports student engagement with course content and learning tools on any device, including their mobile or tablet devices. Here's a testimony from one of our designers. The D2L platform enables our course design teams to focus on designing innovative, engaging, and accessible learning that transforms the student experience and fosters student success. We really appreciate our partnership with D2L. So what are the results? Our efforts in open educational resources save students money. And for community college students, this alone is a critical factor. Last year, over 20,000 students took an OER or zero textbook cost course through CCC Online. That translates to 48% of our overall enrollments. This saves students $1.1 million in textbook or digital content fees. System-wide, we project that this has the potential to save students over $4 million each year. So that's really, really significant. Not all of our successes were financial. We also found that our approach to OER and zero textbook costs foster student success. We performed outcome studies on a sample of 12 courses and 11,000 students who took an OER or a zero textbook cost course through CCC Online. In this study, we found that students had an increase in their pass rate and a decrease in fail rate or withdrawal rates. The end-of-course surveys also revealed a high degree of satisfaction with the quality and design of the courses. Our OER efforts and successes are also fostering collaboration and innovation across the Colorado Community College system and throughout the state. In May of this year, CCC Online released curated OER course guides for the top 40 guaranteed transfer courses. These materials can assist faculty to incorporate OER materials into their courses in all learning modalities, online, hybrid, face-to-face, every modality. This was particularly helpful to faculty who are in the process of transitioning their face-to-face to emergency remote or online instruction for the summer and fall semesters. Also, the Colorado Community College system received a grant from Colorado's OER Council to partner with the Red Rocks Community College and the Community College at Denver to expand the usage of the WebWork homework platform that integrates with D2L across the system. This enables math faculty to share OER courses and supplemental materials such as practice sets and exam questions. CCC Online was also awarded a grant to develop a Z-degree pathway for students pursuing an associate's degree in business in the Colorado is Open for Business grant project. In order to facilitate sharing of courses and assets in projects like these, we also have a learning objects repository that enable faculty to share their digital content. Finally, it's my honor to recognize my colleagues and the amazing team at CCC Online. None of this great work in OER would be possible without this talented and capable team. We also couldn't do what we do if we didn't have the support of our colleagues at D2L. CCC Online has a staff of 50 people and 450 online instructors who work tirelessly to support student learning and to support the system colleges. D2L works tirelessly to support our efforts as well, as we are a system of not only CCC Online, but a system of, as I mentioned, 13 colleges. So thank you again to D2L for being a great partner in making learning accessible, affordable, and for helping the Colorado Community College system to change the way Colorado goes to college. Thank you.
All right, Tina, and thank you very much. Great presentation. And we are going to hear from our fourth Excellence Award winner up next. So I'd like to introduce to you Danielle Dubé. Danielle is an educational consultant and Brightspace administrator at CAV-LFO or CAVLFO, and I'm not going to even try to tell you what that means because it's in French and I do not speak French, but Danielle does. And so if you're ready to go, you can take it away.
Bonjour tout le monde. Alors, Barry, I'm going to spare you my French for this presentation. It is my pleasure to represent the CAV-LFO, which stands for Consortium d'apprentissage virtuel de langue française de l'Ontario. So I'm going to tell you what it's all about in a little moment, but you can see here I cannot hold the trophy, unfortunately. I wish I would have been on stage with everyone at Fusion this year to hold this trophy because it's so dear to us as an organization. It was sent to our offices in Ottawa. I am in North Bay, Ontario, so it's still sitting there. And as soon as I get a picture with it, I'll send it out to everyone. So, well, first of all, I'm going to present myself. My name is Danielle Dubé. I have been with the CAV-LFO for its entire 10 years, plus 2 years before it officially became a consortium. So for the first 10 and a half years, I was an online teacher, teaching social studies to students from grade 9 to grade 12, everywhere in the province of Ontario. And now I am the educational consultant. I train teachers, and I also manage our Brightspace environment for the consortium. So in those 12 years, I have touched many aspects of course building, teaching, and also support, being a part of the support team for our teachers and for the students in schools everywhere in the province. So what is the CAV-LFO? Well, let me give you a bit of context. There are 12 French language school boards in Ontario. They were established in 1998, and all those school boards offer courses in over 100 French language high schools everywhere in the province. So one of the reasons why the consortium was created by those 12 school boards is to make sure students that could not take some of the courses that are generally offered everywhere else in the province in English language schools, which are most of the time more, they have more students and thus offer more course choice. So to avoid the French language students, for them to take courses in the English high schools and keep them in French high schools, the French school boards got together and put together this consortium, which offers online courses to students everywhere in the province. So any student that's registered in a French language high school in Ontario can take a course in his own school through us, and the courses are fully online. So our consortium was mandated to offer day courses, so 2 semesters during the year, and also summer courses. So right now we're in the midst of our summer course month of July for this year, and I'm going to talk about that a little later on. And also the consortium is responsible to ensure access to adult education programs for adults that would like to complete their Ontario diploma or Ontario Secondary School diploma. So this year we are officially celebrating our 10th anniversary because the consortium was founded in 2010, and 2 years before that we were also offering courses in the same way, but under the auspices of another organization in the province. So I'm going to talk about our team because this success that we are encountering is not possible without a team of heroes. And I got a sense of the hero theme, which is the theme of the Fusion this year. This is our team of heroes. This is our admin and teacher staff. I'm going to talk about the real heroes, which are the teachers. They're our frontline people that are really the basis of everything that's going on in our organization. So online teachers, we have 24 that are spread out everywhere in the province. Are teachers that are hired already in their school board. So they're already teaching courses in their school boards. And now the consortium goes and picks them out of the school to make sure that we can offer courses in all the different disciplines, the different subjects. So this is our team from 2019-2020, which are spread out throughout the province. And these teachers are qualified Ontario secondary or teachers. And they also are available. They work from their home schools, and they are responsible as teachers to deliver courses. They are responsible for the curricular aspect of the courses. And our admin team, our support staff, which I like to call them, are made up of 1 principal, 2 vice principals. So 1 for day courses, and 1 vice principal for summer courses and adult education. So they lead the way. And also there's 1 administrative assistant and 1 secretary, which are the real bosses. Everybody knows that secretaries in schools are the real bosses. Anyways, those are very important people for us to make everything work like they should. We also have, like most schools, a guidance counselor, a special education teacher, coordinator for post-secondary partnerships, which works with colleges and universities. And that person has developed a program for student teachers and universities to be able to do a session with us so they can learn how our online courses work. And moi, 1 educational consultant and Brightspace admin. So I take care of the the Brightspace environment, but also I take care of the Google Suite for Education that we use, and I am the main trainer for all the teachers. So this is you can see the pictures in the next slide of our team of or admin team for the year 2019-2020. So some of these spaces are going to change for next year, but still, we still have a fairly solid team that's going on for the next year. So just give me a second. I'm going to refile. Okay, so how do the courses work at the CAV-LFO? Well, first of all our courses are asynchronous. So the students are not live generally. There's no live teaching other than when teachers and students connect because they need to answer questions or to have some explanations. Students' courses are included in their timetable at their school. So generally students in high schools in Ontario have 4 courses per semester. And one of those courses would be their online course, be it a science, math, or whichever subject the student has chosen to follow. And then the student in his school is supervised by another teacher that is there to make sure of attendance, that he has the materials, the connection, everything, so that he can keep moving on in his course and keep him doing whatever he needs to do for the courses. We offer various subjects from grade 9 to 12, basics like math, languages, science, and electives such as social studies, arts, and also like phys ed courses that are offered those. So we have about 94 courses last year that we offered. That's including day and summer programs. And our program was fairly successful since we had to limit the amount of students and limit the courses we offered because we couldn't have any more students for the amount of teachers we had. So last year and a half, we only offered during day courses, grade 11 and 12 courses. And then during the summer session, then we offered grade 9 and 10 courses also. So in total, in 2018-2019, we awarded close to 2,900 credits. That's including day and summer courses. And we have really evolved from our first years, like in 2011, 2012, we offered about granted about 1,500 credits. And last year we granted about 2,900 credits, which is quite a big amount. And that's, if you go back to the main goal of the online courses offered by our organization, then it keeps French language students in our schools so they can also take other courses in their schools and keep those schools full and lively, basically. So our success rate for students that take online courses with the CAV-LFO and that's consistent through the years, is approximately 97%. 97% of the students that complete their courses online with us receive their credit in the end, which is a fairly high number compared to the retention rates in different school boards and high schools in the province. So that's a really important number for us, and it shows the quality of the work we do. So next on, I think we're talking about the secret of this success. And what's the secret? Well, first of all, it's teamwork. We're a very solid team. Leadership is very strong. We work within our organization between teachers and between all the people involved, but we also are partners with all the 100 high schools in Ontario that where students take courses with us, because we have to communicate with the principals, the vice principals, the teachers that supervise the students in their school, and we offer those courses to them. So there's a really important teamwork that goes on between our organization and all these schools and the school boards. We have a student success team. So one of the VPs of day courses, vice principal, and our special education and student success coordinator and guidance counselor work together. And when students are flagged for because they are lagging behind or their results are not to what they probably should be, or as students are in a situation of where they might fail their course, those people intervene. They communicate with the school, they communicate with the parents, communicate with the student, and make sure that we put together a plan that is going to help the student complete the course and have the success for that course. The third part is solace assessment, intervention, and communication protocols. Now, we've established a very solid assessment protocol for all the students that take courses within the CAV LFO. One of the most important things we've done, and probably one of the most difficult one also, is to have all 12 school boards agree on one evaluation policy, one assessment policy for us, so we can apply it uniformly to all the students that follow courses with us. So that's really important. We communicate a lot, and there's different protocols within the team that are really important that we make sure that those protocols are followed very, very closely. Our fourth secret to the success we've had is data collection. I remember seeing a presentation a few years ago where someone was saying that they had about 20 to 25% response rate to one of their surveys from the students or from the staff that are involved in online courses. Generally, we average between 60 and 75% student participation in our survey for each semester. We also collect data from the parents and the schools, and our participation rate for those are about the same also. So that data helps us adjust and improve accordingly. And that's one of the main reasons why we've been able to keep such a high standard for those 10 to 12 years that we've been in existence. Number 5 is an effective training of our team members. And we've focused a lot on feedback in the past few years, and also on critical thinking. That was really important to develop those aspects of the teachers that teach online courses, so that the feedback we give helps the student with their critical thinking, and also the feedback is geared towards student success all the time. The sixth secret to our success is the ability to adjust and to improve. Education is not a static world. It's always evolving. We've seen this year with the pandemic, that's for sure. So we've been able to adjust and to improve within the years, and also to adjust and to improve. And I'm going to talk about D2L and Brightspace in a minute. According to what was offered in the LMS, which really helped us focus more on the student and improve what we do for the students. But the real reason to our success is, our main reason is communication. Like Yoda says, communication, the key is communication between team members, student to teacher, teachers to teacher, parents, and schools. That's really the key to the success we've had. And Brightspace has been one of the tools that we've used very effectively to communicate with the students and the teachers. So Brightspace and all of this, well, first of all, in my 12 years, I've always used Brightspace. From the beginning, we've used, well, it wasn't called Brightspace at the beginning, but we were using D2L platform, and we've evolved with the D2L platform. All of our courses are prepared centrally in the province by one organization that's mandated to prepare our courses by the Ministry of Education. And all the courses are built to be used in Brightspace. Those courses, we're in our 4th generation of courses right now to show you the evolution of our courses. And now we're building modular courses, which are more based, less, like in the beginning, they were more like correspondence courses. Now they're more built towards critical thinking, project-based, and students can learn a bit more by themselves, and the teachers become more of someone that's there to help the student run through the course and make sure everything works well for the student. Our teachers, I'll call them super users of Brightspace, because day in, day out, throughout the school year, teachers work with Brightspace, communicate with the students with Brightspace, adjust their courses in Brightspace, and use it. They use all the tools and the new tools that are introduced in Brightspace to make sure what they are offering to the students is better and better every year and every day. For example, one of the most important improvements that we've seen in the past few years was the annotation tool in the assessment tool of Brightspace, where teachers can correct or mark directly and make their comments directly in the assessment without opening some other program, to make sure that they can give their feedback and offer the student very well, I'm trying to find the English word, but anyways, effective feedback. That's what I'm looking for the students in the annotation tool directly. Lately, one of the most important improvements was video note that was stretched out to 30 minutes instead of 3 minutes. Our teachers are really appreciative of these improvements, and they improve their work through the improvements that Brightspace offers them every month and year in, year out. So basically, that's how we use Brightspace. I could go in more details, but I think you get the gist of what I'm trying to say here. In the end, what's our future outlook? Well, last year, throughout all the negotiations for the new teacher contracts, the Ontario government has mandated that each student that's going to enter grade 9 in September 2020 complete 2 online courses. So for us, that means probably more, I'll say clients, more students that will take courses with us. Registration for this year's summer courses, with the pandemic and everything that's been going on, has gone up more than 100%. Right now, last year we had about 950 students register for us for courses with us in the summer. This summer we had 1,970 at the beginning of July, which is a very high number for us, and we had to adjust. We had to hire a lot more teachers and make sure that all the students could take their summer course with us. And I've just talked about the pandemic, but I think that's opened eyes and ears to online teaching for parents, for teachers, and for students also, where this adjustment is probably going to bring us more clientele eventually, and make sure that all the students respect the requirements from the government for online courses also. So I finished my presentation with a question. I'll let everyone make their own conclusions here, but I think that the future looks fairly bright for us as an organization. And I'd like to thank D2L and all its partners for choosing us as the award winners, the D2L award winners for this year. It's really a recognition of all the work that we've put in the past years. If you have further questions, if you would like to know more, my coordinates are there, so you can send me an email, check my Twitter, and also visit our website, which is all in French. If you have any questions about that, send me an email and I'll answer any question that you have about the Consortium d'apprentissage virtuel de langue française de l'Ontario. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup tout le monde.
All right. Thank you, Danielle. So we have a break coming up. Before we go into the break, I just thought I'd share a little bit of information with you about these Excellence Awards. We've seen 4 presentations. We have one more at the top of the hour, followed by our Hero Hangout. Don't forget about that. Trivia and music and just a little relaxing time. But Excellence Awards are an annual thing. They the submission process happens in the mid to late fall, so expect around October or so, and we will be releasing that. So a lot more information will be made available when that's ready to go, because we'll be hopefully seeing you again in the Fusion days of the future months. But we have a group of our steering committee members who judge the submissions. We had, I think, about 35 or 36 to choose from this year, and we picked 5 winners out of that. So the vast majority of the judging group is made up of steering committee members, which means it's made up of customers. And so there's a rubric, there's various criteria that we're looking for, and we'll share more about that process as we get closer to the Excellence Awards for 2021. So we've got a little extra time. Our presenters were really speedy this time, and we appreciate that. So a little extra time to relax, to grab a snack or whatever else you're going to do, and we'll see you back here at the top of the hour. Thanks, everybody.
My breath right quick. He ain't never seen it in a dress like this. He ain't never even been impressed like this. Probably why I got him quiet on the set like zip. Like it, love it, need it, bad. Take it, own it, steal it, fast. The boy stop playing, grab my ass. Why you acting like you shy? Shut it, save it, keep it pushing. Why you beating round the bush and knowing you want all this woman? Never knock it till you try. All of them saying I have you with me. All of my saying you mad committed. Really to anybody you had them pretty. All of the body I need out. Day and night and morning, keeping me in the moment.
Wanna ride with you till the wheels fall off, till we're running out of road. Wanna dance with you till the music stops, till we got no place to go. Everybody needs a place to hide. This don't have to be a bumpy ride. I think we should be alone tonight, 'cause we don't have to be lonely. Everybody needs some company. Let's talk about it over one more drink. I think you should be alone with me, 'cause we don't have to be lonely. We don't have to be lonely. I wanna ride with you till the world stands still, like there's no one else but us. Wanna dance with you till we can't stand up, till we both give in to love. Everybody needs a place to hide. This don't have to be a bumpy ride. I think we should be alone tonight, 'cause we don't have to be lonely. Everybody needs some company. Let's talk about it over one more drink. I think you should be alone with me, 'cause we don't have to be lonely. We don't have to be lonely. Wanna ride with you till the wheels fall off, till we're running out of road.
From the breaking of the day till the middle of the night. From the breaking of the day till the middle of the night. From the breaking of the day till the middle of the night. From the breaking of the day till the middle of the night. Summertime and I'm caught in the feeling. Getting high and I'm up on the ceiling. I don't know what you're doing in New York. All I know is you ain't on my bedroom floor. I'm seeing you undressed in my room, but it's just a memory, a fantasy. Are you in your house? Are you going out? Are you going crazy like me? From the breaking of the day to the middle of the night, I try to forget about you, baby, and I die when I think of you with someone else, and I don't know why. I don't know why you're dancing in my mind. From the breaking of the day to the middle of the night, all the time. From the breaking of the day to the middle of the night, all the time. Everyone's been wearing your perfume. Everything is reminding me of you. I don't know what I'm doing in New York, but all I know is you ain't walking through the door. I'm seeing you undressed in my room, but it's just a memory, a fantasy. Are you in your house? Are you going out? Are you going crazy like me? From the breaking of the day to the middle of the night, I try to forget about you, baby, and I die when I think of you with someone
like the way you talk, I like the things you wear. I want your number tattooed on my arm in ink, I swear. Cause when the morning comes, I know you won't be there. Every time I turn around, you disappear. I wanna blow your mind, just come with me, I swear. I'm gonna take you somewhere warm, you know j'adore la mer. Cause when the morning comes, I know you won't be there. Every time I turn around, you disappear. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Let me treat you to a drink. I like the way you talk, I like the things you wear. I want your number tattooed on my arm in ink, I swear. Cause when the morning comes, I know you won't be there. But every time I turn around, you disappear. Nice to meet you. One minute you're there, the next one you're gone. Been waiting for you all night to come on. You know what I need, you know what I want. You know what I need now. You know what I need now. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Let me treat you to a drink. Nice to meet you, baby. Let me treat you to a drink. Nice to meet you.
Sometimes it don't go your way. Sometimes you gotta. Sometimes it don't go your way. Sometimes you gotta. Yeah. I had a plan, I had it mapped out. I knew where I was going when I left out. Oh, you couldn't tell me that I wouldn't be there on time. I had some guarantees, I had a deadline. But now I know things change for better or worse. You could say that I'm the same, but I ain't just a do all the hurt. So many no's, so many yeses. No one to blame, don't got the answers. I felt the pain, I can't attest it. That's just the game and I respect it, yeah. Cause sometimes it don't go
Daddy, I'm afraid. Won't you stay a little while? Keep me safe, 'cause there's monsters right outside. Daddy, please don't go. I don't wanna be alone, 'cause the second that you're gone, they're gonna know. Before he went to bed, he grabbed my hand and said, just 'cause I'm leaving, it don't mean it. I won't be right by your side when you need me and you can't see me in the middle of the night. Just close your eyes and say a prayer. It's okay, I know you're scared when I'm not here, but I'll always be right there. Even though I'm leaving, I ain't going nowhere. Dad will be late, and Uncle Sam don't like to wait. He's got a big old plane that's gonna take me far away. I know I act tough, but there's a churning in my gut, 'cause I just can't call you up when things get rough. Before I left, he hugged my neck and said, just 'cause you're leaving, it don't mean it. I won't be right by your side when you need me. You can't see me in the middle of the night. Just close your eyes and say a prayer. It's okay, I know you're scared. I might be here, but I'll always be right there. Even though you're leaving, I ain't going nowhere. Daddy, I'm afraid. Won't you stay a little while? I never thought I'd see the day I had to say goodbye. Daddy, please don't go. I can't do this on my own. There's no way that I can walk this road alone. Daddy grabbed my hand and said, just 'cause I'm leaving, it don't mean it. I won't be right by your side when you need me and you can't see me in the middle of the night. Just close your eyes and say a prayer. It's okay, boy, I ain't scared. I won't be here, but I'll always be right there. Even though I'm leaving, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's get started with hour 4 of Fusion. We have one more Excellence Award winner to hear from, and I will be introducing our presenters in just a moment. After that 20-minute presentation, we'll begin our Hero Hangout. On the agenda, we have some music starring one of our own D2L employees, and we'll mix in 2 trivia contests with a prize package for each winner. And then at 4 o'clock Eastern, we have a session from one of our awesome partners. That would be Bongo. The back channel on Twitter, hashtag D2L Fusion. I did see a question about whether you can ask presenters a question, and today that's just actually not set up, but that's really your best bet, is to post some things on Twitter and hope that we can get some replies. Many of the other days of Fusion, there will be chat and Q&A enabled, so just not for these kind of special Excellence Award presentations today. We do have an issue coming up that we did not foresee. So that has to do with Zoom. If you are not a regular Zoom user, and if you don't have a Zoom account, what we're finding is that for some of these presentations, you are going to have a password. And of course, we can't just share that password widely, or would have would be Zoom bombed from all over the place. So you might want to grab these passwords. They were also in the rotating slideshow if you happen to see it. So for the Hero Hangout coming up, 791-626. That's only if you don't already have a Zoom account. You shouldn't need that password. It's embedded in your URL if you do have a Zoom account. If you don't have a Zoom account and you're going to attend more Fusion sessions, maybe you want to just create your free little Zoom account so that it'll be seamless going forward. Next month at Fusion, August 10th, 11th, and 12th, we are launching the first 3 of our 10 new Fusion networks. We'll have the CBL network on Monday, August 10th. The Women in Leadership and the Gamification Network will both be on Wednesday, August 12th. And then sandwiched in between will be the Data Analytics Lab. Remember, tomorrow's the Accessibility Lab. Then in August, we have the Data Analytics Lab. We have an Extensibility Lab coming up. We have our Knowledge Central Lab. So you will have opportunities to learn more about the people who run these labs and the services that they can provide, and some breakout sessions on that topic. If you want to receive communications about any specific network, you can opt in at that URL that's shown. You can attend these without opting in, but you'll get communications specific to a network if you sign up for it at that URL. To wrap up our recognition of the conference sponsors, here are our 10 core sponsors for Fusion 2020. Several of these sponsors are new to D2L, so they're going to be doing some breakout sessions. I'm looking forward to learn more about them. Please go check them out in the exhibit hall. And now it's time to hear from our 5th Excellence Award winners. It's 7 a.m. Tuesday in New Zealand, which is where our last presentation comes from. The Excellence Award submission was actually written by Chris Lawrence. He is the Creative Services Director at the Te Kura School in New Zealand. So even though our presenters are up and at 'em, to be on the safe side, they made a video of their presentation just in case there were internet issues or, they overslept or, some such thing. So I'm going to introduce our presenters and we'll get the video and then we'll be able to hear from them at the end, as long as they don't fall back asleep or anything like that. So please welcome Dan Nelms-Love, he's a web stack developer, and Sarah Sinai, she's a digital and graphic designer from the Te Kura School in New Zealand.
Hi everyone, this is Dan and I'm Sarah from New Zealand's biggest online school. Today we're going to show you one of our more advanced widgets that we've been working on. But first, we'll open our presentation with a traditional Māori introduction.
Whakataka te hau ki te uru, whakataka te hau ki te tonga. Kia mākina kina ki uta, kia mātaratara ki tai. Kia hi ake ana te atakura. He tio, he uka, he hauhu, ti hei mauri ora.
Kura mataka te moanga, ko te awakarangi te awa, ko Dundalk Bay te waka, no Aotearoa ahau, ko Sirataku ingoa, tēnā koutou katoa.
Ko Periperi te maunga, ko Waitohe te awa, ko Tokumaru te waka, no Aotearoa ahau, ko Tāni ora taku ingoa. Kia ora tātou katoa.
Te Aho o Te Kura Pounamu, more commonly known as Te Kura, is a K-12 online distance education provider. We cater to 25,000 students located all throughout New Zealand and the world that can be enrolled anytime during the year. We also work closely with our 450 teachers located at regional hubs across the country. We're unique in that we are not a school of choice, which means that to currently study at Te Kura, a student needs to meet certain criteria or be unable to attend a normal school. This could be for reasons such as distance, inaccessibility, illness, or social or emotional issues. Generally, before they come to us, they've tried the normal face-to-face classroom environment, which hasn't suited them, so sometimes we're their last resort as an education provider.
Sarah and I work in an agile team of creatives working together to create engaging online content for our students. Our team has been recognised on a national level for optimising and empowering our students through design and user experience. Our focus is to provide a student-first approach to authentic learning. This means we spend a fair amount of time listening to the student voice and using their feedback to drive meaningful advancements in our developments.
We recently won a D2L Excellence Award for our design and development within Brightspace. Today we're going to show you our biggest development that led us to receiving this award. We call it Mai Korowai. Mai Korowai is a custom-built widget in Brightspace. that provides an intuitive environment for learners of different abilities and skills. It is dynamic, interactive, and most importantly, engaging. It provides a collaborative space for building relationships, exploring ideas, celebrating successes, and reflecting on progress while learning at Te Kura. Each area of my korowai is broken into segments with supporting documentation to help both learners and their network. The segments have Māori graphics and symbols to reflect our bilingual strategy and appeal to our learners' cultural demographic. The environment is clean, clear, and concise to improve user experience and complement the information provided by learners.
Included in My Korowai is a top nav for easy access. We have an instant messaging tool that gives them direct communication with their teachers. We have a tasks list where students can add new tasks that they're currently working on and the due dates that they are due. And some extra information if they feel they need to. It adds it down here in the upcoming dates, and from here they can tick it off to say it's completed, or if they did it by accident, they can bring it back. If they no longer need to do it, they can move it to the trash can. Across here, we have some information on New Zealand scholarships for our students, and a PDF exporter that exports all of the information that they have put in that makes it usable for an individual learning program. We also have some how-to videos on how to use My Korowai. Down here, we can see that all of the form information has been broken down into bite-sized pieces for the students, allowing them to input, our student's name is Jane, not Dan. Allowing the student to put in all their information quick and easy in an interactive manner. We have extra interactives where students can put in anything that they want to do and add extra fields if they want to. Here we have their interests, and I might be specifically interested in dogs. Here we have an area where students can define what culture means to them and use the slider interactive to indicate how important it is to them in their learning. We also have a contacts table in this area where students can put in contacts that allows teachers, learning advisors, and other people in their learning network to contact these people. We also have, in the end, an area where students can manually input how they help with their learning, or they can choose one from the dropdown. If they feel these people are more important or less important, or they want to show them in their individual learning plan, they can reorder this table and then save that for their individual learning program. Under My Learning, we have an area where students can indicate the best ways for them for learning, and they can also type out extra information to help their teachers know how they learn best. Under Wellbeing, we also just have some links and information to help students learn more about their wellbeing and why it's important. All of the information input into this widget can be used and stored in the student's Brightspace profile. Currently, we store it all on an external cloud database to speed up calls for large datasets. This means the student only needs to provide their information in one place, and we can provide it to anyone who needs it, whether it be teachers, learning advisors, data analysts, managers, or other widgets throughout Brightspace. In this section, we have links to external websites and PDF instructions to show students how to use those websites. Under My Dreams, we have areas where students can say things that they're interested in doing later on. And you'll notice these are based on their interests that they identified earlier. if I was to come back here and say I am also interested in sports, this area updates to now have dreams related to sports. Again, the student can input their own. Under leaving school, the student can say what they plan on doing when they finish, whether it be get a job, or maybe they haven't even worked it out, or maybe it's nothing that we've thought of. And under their goals, we have another table where students can put in goals that they plan on doing, complete them as they go, and they can also put in more information as they work their way through. If they don't want to do that anymore, they can just close them off and then save the table.
Each component has been personified through illustrative design. This fun and stylistic approach is targeted towards our audience, appealing to their interests while keeping them engaged. Inspired by popular social media sites such as Facebook and Instagram, we created this area for learners to reflect on their progress while studying with Te Kura. It provides a space for learners to engage with their network and celebrate their achievements. Creating a post is as easy as dragging an image into this box, giving it a title, adding a description, and posting it. Posts can be viewed by selecting them and edited as needed, or deleted if unwanted. Posts can also be pinned if they are considered more important. We have found this section to be successful as a means of receiving updates from students. The teaching staff have the ability to see and understand the environment where the student is learning through the photos and videos they post.
We've redesigned and simplified our widget for younger learners, catering to their needs more closely. We've integrated some Brightspace tools, such as Profile Photo, which can be clicked on and updated as needed, and other LTIs, such as UCU, that allow the student to access them from this one place. We've simplified these input fields so they only show up when they are necessary. Here we have the same table that we saw earlier, where things can be reordered or deleted as needed. Under my interest, we've iconized everything, making it easier for students of this age group to complete it. And we have the same dynamic fields that allow students to input more information if needed. Under the supervisor area, we see the same text boxes and sliders for culture and religion this time.
Another tool we have created, inspired by social media platforms and productivity tools, is this weekly schedule. My Week allows students to create their own timetable that can be viewed by learning advisors and teachers to keep track of their activities. Some parents also use this area to help their children keep track of what they are doing throughout any given week. Tasks can be added by clicking Add Entry, putting in a name, selecting a start and end time, and choosing a background color. Tasks can also be edited and deleted.
For our learning advisors and teachers, we've created a powerful interface allowing them to check in on any learner. They can see learners enrolled in their section or other sections, or use the search bar to find individual students. Here we can see the student that we were completing earlier. With many tools, the first tool is the chat function, where we can see a notification where Jane has contacted their teacher and needs a response. We also have the student's profile that they have completed, with all of the information that they have input throughout myKorowai. Here we can see the goals tables, their interests and dreams, the contact information for the people that are there to be contacted, and their personal information, along with their culture and the importance of that in their learning. We can also see the activities that they plan on doing in the future or are currently working on. Here we also have a calendar that allows us to see that based on due dates. We can also see notifications under the posts area where we can see that Jane has provided us with 4 new posts that need to be checked. And you'll notice that that disappears once the teacher or learning advisor has checked all of these. And the teacher or learning advisor also has the option to use the PDF exporter to create an individual learning program for that student.
We first launched myKorowai at the beginning of 2019. In the first quarter of that year, we had 35% engagement without any instruction or promotion. They just went in there and did it, which proves its simplicity and user-friendliness. By the end of 2019, 74% of our senior high students and 67% of our junior high students had engaged in myKorowai. These figures have given us better insight into learners. This allows us to build personalized programs of learning around their passions and interests. We have only seen the statistics improve since then. This platform has also provided a standardized and consistent structure across the school, allowing us to pull more comprehensive analytics from the data. These statistics have shown us that through design, we can achieve our most important goal, enhancing our students' learning experience.
In short, this widget provides us with more information about our students, something we have not formally had before. It gives both students and teachers a space for exploring interests. It provides student agency to be more involved, enabling Te Kura to further personalize the student's program of learning. Our plan is to continue advancing these and other widgets and platforms to further enhance learner experience. Today, we've shown you 2 of our 3 Korowai platforms, and we plan on creating 2 to 3 more for different audiences. We create, maintain, and update a large number of interactive and responsibly designed widgets, infographics, and applications to help our learners learn and our teachers teach. We would like to take this opportunity to give a big thanks to everyone at D2L for inviting us to speak today about one of our biggest developments to date. We would also like to thank our manager, Chris Lawrence, and the whole team at Te Kura for helping create the widget that won us this award. We have a variety of other widgets empowering and optimizing user experience for both our learners and teachers. If you want to discuss some of these, feel free to contact us.
To finish, we would like to share a Māori proverb. Ahakoa he iti he punamu. In English it reads, although small, it is precious. We like to use this proverb when talking about myKorowai, as it may be small and simple, but it is valuable to our learners. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right, so there we have Dan and Sarah with their myKorowai Excellence Award presentation. So I'd like to hear from the 2 of you, since you did get up so early there in New Zealand on Tuesday morning, and say hello to the group.
Yeah, hi everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, we decided to do a pre-recording just in case there were network issues, or yeah, I tend to sleep in, so.
I would have been a little worried about that myself if I was in your shoes. So just tell us a little bit about yourselves, Sarah and Dan, both. Like, how long have you been at Te Kura and kind of work that you do there?
So I've been at Te Kura for about 2.5 years now. So I'm a graphic and digital designer, and also do a little bit of front-end development on online courses that we do. But working on myKorowai has been probably the best experience that I've had, and just seeing it grow and how it has helped learners engage is quite empowering, and it's a good feeling. Yeah.
Great. Dan?
So I've been here for 5 years now. I started, or maybe 6, I don't know. I started here as a junior developer, and I've just worked my way through. I spent a lot of time in the earlier days trying to optimize our widgets and programs that we already had to make things easier for our students. I'm a real big believer in making technology work for our students, rather than students working for our technology. And it's been real good here because there's a lot of opportunities for growth with technology, and our organization is really forward-thinking around that. Our CEO and our manager, Chris, and my boss, Gav, they're really big on improving things for our students.
That's great. So I remember when I talked to Chris early on, before the virus, before the virtual conference, he was very excited that the conference was going to be in California, because he thought that was, that's just that much closer, even though it's still a long way away, but it's closer, and he thought he'd be bringing even more people from the school. And then, of course, that all went up in smoke. But we really appreciate you taking the time not only to make your video, but to join us here live as well. And so with that, we're going to wrap up this session. You might recall that if you were on at the beginning, I told you about a password if you're not a regular Zoom user, if you don't have a Zoom account. We are going to jump out of this, and you'll need to go back into the presentation hall there where the presentations are listed, because we're going into a regular Zoom meeting for the Hero Hangout. So if you are a regular Zoom meeting, the link should just work for you because the password's embedded. If you are not, you will need the password, which I'll just say it because I don't think we have a graphic, 791626. 791626. That same password will work for the Bongo presentation at 4 o'clock because it's in the exact same room. Turnitin office hours at 4 o'clock, that's a different password. That's 261504. You'll find them in the exhibit hall. So 261504 if you're going into the Turnitin office hours, speak with somebody from Turnitin. Otherwise, the password for the Hero Hangout, I'm going to jump in that Zoom meeting as soon as I jump out of this. So that password is 791626. And I hope to see you at the Hero Hangout. Thanks, everybody.